And let's not simply walk into Mordor.
The land of shadow.
Hey everyone, welcome back. In today's Shadowcast, we're going to be digging deep into the San Diego Comic-Con trailer for The Rings of Power. If you're interested, you can look at my reaction trailer here. In the week before, I had done a sort of a deep dive into the previous trailer for The Rings of Power, the teaser trailer. And so now I think we're ready to take a look at the Comic-Con trailer. I did some research online, did a little checking in the appendices of The Lord of the Rings to check some of the time frames, because I think today I want to discuss, in addition to the dark characters, creatures, and locations that we see in the trailer, I also want to try and see if I can figure out what is the time frame that the show is going to be taking place in. The series, so far from what we have seen in the teasers and now in this extended 3-minute trailer, looks to be focused primarily on Numenor and the fall of Numenor. But I am not 100% sure of that. So I'm not sure if they're going to take the story of the forging of the rings and the fall of Numenor into the sea as a single story and take those two time frames and pull them together. I'm not quite sure yet. But anyway, I want to focus in today's video on the dark servants of shadow, and the dark locations we see, and of course any of the creatures that we see in this new trailer. So as usual, in Mordor, the land of shadow, we are going to be taking a look and focusing on the darker side of Tolkien's world. So let's go ahead and see where this journey takes us today. Okay everybody, after assembling the content for this video, I decided to focus just on the dark servants of shadow, the brazen beasts, and the dark domains in this video. I do want to discuss the time frame of the new series, but I think I'll save that for another video, if not the next video. Let's begin with the dark domains we see in the new trailer. These would be all of the evil locations that we see in this new series. It appears that the Cave of the Snow Troll is actually the ruins of a dark fortress in the frozen north. We are shown this fortress, which you can see here, in what could possibly be a flashback to the fortress of Angband from the First Age. It was utterly destroyed in the War of Wrath. So perhaps it is some other dark domain invented for the show. According to canon, there is no fortress in the north of Middle-earth during the Second Age. So maybe it is possibly the ruins of Angband that Galadriel and the elves are exploring, but we'll need to see more to confirm this. The only other dark domain that appears in the new trailer is what looks to be an orc hold, where Arondir and others are being held captive. We see him fighting in what looks like a battle pit. He is chained, and we can see others in the background. He fights a warg, and he looks to be fighting some of the orcs. Again, we'll have to see more before we can figure out exactly what is happening here in this place. Now, let's explore the brazen beasts seen in the new trailer. We saw wargs for the first time in the teaser trailer, the one before this one. And in this trailer, we see what looks to be some kind of sea serpent. This may be the cause of Galadriel's ship sinking because we see her swimming in the water trying to get away. Though no such creatures are mentioned in Tolkien's writings, we suppose there could be a sea dragon or a sea worm of some kind. The only proof of this so far is this blurry image from the trailer, which we can't really see very well. This monster of the deep is the only new creature we see in the latest trailer. Now, let's take a look at the many servants of shadows seen in the new San Diego Comic-Con trailer. Ar-Pharazôn the Golden. We saw him for the first time clearly in the second teaser trailer, though he does appear in this new trailer. And as a result, I kind of wanted to talk about him as one of the dark servants of shadow. As many of you know, Ar-Pharazôn was the 25th and last king of Numenor. His willful rule, great pride, and envy of the Valar led directly to the downfall of Numenor. He defeated Sauron in battle and brought him to the Isle of Numenor as a slave. Sauron, in the form of Annatar, deceived the king. He became a trusted advisor. He convinced Ar-Pharazôn to assail Valinor and to try and gain immortality. As his armies set foot upon the Blessed Realm, Eru broke the world and Numenor sank into the sea. As we can see, Ar-Pharazôn the Golden will play a pivotal role in the new series, and he will definitely be a servant of shadow. Now, let's discuss the evil priesthood of Melkor. In this trailer, we see this character for the first time. Some thought it might be Sauron in the form of Annatar, but to me he looks too evil. However, rumor has it that this is an evil sect of priestesses who follow the fallen Dark Lord Morgoth. We see them 3 times, once upon a hill, a close-up shot of the main priestess, and later we see her casting a fire spell. We see a leaf falling in Moria, in what looks to be the veins of Mithril in the rock.
You have been told many lies of Middle-earth.
At the end, we see a balrog. However, I don't think these 3 scenes actually go together. I think the scene of the priestess blowing the ashes and smoke is more closely related to the appearance of the sword being reformed in the fire. This sword, which we see in this character poster, first appeared as a black blade held by Theo, a human character created for the series. This is somehow connected to Sauron, and it seems to be that it has this symbol that we also see in the evil fortress. The other thing I do also want to point out about the priesthood of Melkor, that the priestess is holding a scepter that looks very much like the eye of Sauron. Interesting. It probably isn't, but I think it's an interesting point. Now, this brings us to the aforementioned presence of the balrog at the end of the San Diego Comic-Con trailer. There is no doubt that he was the showstopper of the trailer, and the edit gives the impression that the balrog is being summoned through dark sorcery. But as I said before, I don't think this is the case. I believe the spell casting, the leaf falling, and the balrog's appearance at the end are not connected. Rather, I think the image of the balrog is perhaps from an image from the first age of Middle-earth. The balrogs of Morgoth that survived the War of Wrath fled into deep places to hide, including Durin's Bane, the balrog of Moria, who is later awakened in the Third Age. At least that's my take on this. I think the use of the balrog here at the end of this trailer was really to give it some major impact, which it definitely did. So I think that's all there is to it at this point. Now we come to one of the most interesting evil characters. He is a new character that I believe is created for the series. He is known as the evil villain Adar. In the second teaser trailer, we see a mysterious, pale, humanoid figure leading the army of orcs who are wielding torches across the bridge. It has been rumored that this character is called Adar, a primary servant of shadow created for the series and played by Richard Mawley. Several reports claim that this character, this Adar, will be the show's initial representation of evil in the first season, leading the orcs in battle. A totally original character. In the Comic-Con trailer, he is the one walking through the orc camp. You can see the creepy fingers. I believe he is the same character seen in the character poster that was released. At this point, this is all we know, but he is definitely a character I'm more interested in finding out about than many of the other characters. He looks like he's going to be a great evil villain. This leads us to the orcs we saw in the new trailer. They are cloaked and they have masks made of skulls. As I said in my orc, warg, and troll video, I'm happy with the look of the orcs in the series so far. In this trailer, we see more. Orcs running in the woods, orcs in battle, orcs running at the camera. We see new shots of orcs in skull masks and cloaked in hiding from the sun. They seem to be in some sort of covered shelter. There is one particular orc that we see a great deal of. We see him marching to battle. We see him running in the woods shot. I also believe he is the orc creeping up a ladder with the long fingers. We also see him in the orc pit, holding the chained Arendelle. We also get a great shot of him looking directly into the camera. I can't wait to see more of these orcs. Now it's time to address the mysterious Meteor Man. Some believe that this character may be Sauron. He comes streaking across the sky. We see him in both the teaser trailer and in the Comic-Con trailer. But for some reason, I just don't think it's Sauron. I don't know for sure, and there are some things that maybe lead people to believe that this could be his appearance, but something tells me that Sauron will be reserved for later in the series, or at least later in the first season. Maybe some reveal at the very end. The Meteor Man crash lands in Middle-earth. We see him, as I said, streaking across the sky in the teaser and the Comic-Con trailers. He crash lands in fire and smoke. In the last trailer, we see the fire coalesce around him in the shape of what looks like the eye of Sauron, which I believe has contributed to the idea that he may be Sauron, or for people thinking that. Rumor has it that this character is the one played by Daniel Wyman, who is called the Stranger, and I have a hunch I know exactly who this stranger may be. The Meteor Man is said to be taken in by the Harfoots, which is another clue to who he might be. Don't you know? Could it be Gandalf? It's not likely, because Saruman, Gandalf, and Radagast were sent to Middle-earth to help in the wars against Sauron and are said to have come after the first 1,000 years of the Third Age, not the Second Age. But Tolkien does state that the two blue wizards may have come much earlier. Maybe this is their time to shine before they go into the East and sort of disappear from the stories of Middle-earth. So, unless Amazon completely screws the Tolkien canon timeline, which they may, it won't be Gandalf most likely. However, Meteor Man might be one of the two blue wizards. And even if he is a new character, I still believe that he will be one of the good characters rather than an evil one. This is just my thoughts at this stage. Before we close out this video, I want to share a new Weta Workshop creation from their Lord of the Rings Master Collection series. It was introduced at this year's San Diego Comic-Con and is called, or is titled, The Dead Marshes. It is definitely a showstopper.
Once it takes hold of us, it never lets go. And maybe never truer word was spoken by Gollum, and it is fantastic to once again create a Masters Collection piece that has this narrative within the center of its story, stitching together the ring bearer as a narrative thread through our Masters Collection. I feel that we've created an extraordinarily complex and unique piece that tells a story of Sam and Frodo, Gollum fighting their way across the marshes, Frodo falling through, Sam runs to the edge frantic, searching, and Gollum already is plunging his hand through, breaking the world between the real world above and the spectral world below. Frodo finds himself captured in the grip of these spectres that are writhing around him. It is a dark moment in their journey. This is a collectible at its absolute most precious, and something that I feel incredibly proud of, and something that I'm thrilled to be sharing with you.
Okay, well, I hope you guys enjoyed this deep dive into the San Diego Comic-Con trailer for The Lord of the Rings, The Rings of Power. Overall, as I've said, I feel good about this particular trailer in view of the previous teaser trailers, which seem to be more focused on character than they were on kind of adventure. And so this final trailer that we've seen, I have a feeling we'll probably see something more before the series premieres in September, but we'll just have to wait and see. So anyway, I'll see you guys in the next Shadowcast here at the Land of Shadow. But until then, I hope to see you traveling along the mountains of shadow in Mordor.